Welcome to the Cyber Chronicles, where we scrub the internet for the most interesting news on cybersecurity so you don't have to. We're going to discuss the top 5 most shared articles across the internet, and let's get started. This week is going to be no different. We've got some very, very interesting ones coming up. Number 1, you're not going to want to miss, about fake accounts being used as local news agencies. Stay tuned. Okay, let's get started. We're going to talk about the top 5 most interesting articles or most popular articles that have been shared on the internet over the last... Wait a minute, where is my hat? Hang on. Gotta get my hat. There we go. Our sponsorships are coming in like crazy. We're almost up to 1 million subscribers. Well, I round up to 1 million, so we've got... we're a little ways to go. But we're going to say we have 1 million close to 1 million subscribers. Do you hear that? Yeah, Mountain Dew. Do you hear that? Mountain Dew. That means free advertising. Means free Mountain Dew for the Cyber Chronicles. Anyway, let's get to number 5. So coming on to number 5, fitness app Polar exposed locations of spies and military personnel. There's a location data located on intelligence officers, even though the profiles were set to private. So this popular app, what it does is it tracks the activity of literally millions of users by showing where they're running, their activity, their workouts. Their Explorer map is a feature, and a lot of privacy settings were set to private of people that work for military and government installations. There's the word I was looking for. And apparently that there was a way to break into this via the Dutch news found that Polar exposed their fitness data, and a developer API could be used to improperly query the fitness activities such as the running, cycling session of any user. Over 6,400 users were believed to be exercising in sensitive locations, including NSA, the White House, M16 in London, Guantanamo Bay in Cuba, as well as other personnel bases. They have fixed this flaw, but it was a flaw that was found in the fitness app Polar just last week, in which the number 5 most shared article. Okay, coming in at number 4 most popular articles on the interweb. Wired magazine had the article on the worst cybersecurity breaches of 2018 so far. It's always interesting to see how we're doing compared to prior years, and the article talks about the first 6 months. There has not been as many government leaks and global ransomware attacks as there was at the same time last year, but that's pretty much where the good news ends. Corporate security isn't getting better fast enough. Critical infrastructure security hangs in the balance, and state-backed hackers, are you listening to this, around the world are getting bolder and more sophisticated. We are in a cyber war that I just don't think people are admitting to. Russia grid hacking, 2017, Russian hackers infiltrated and probed United States power companies. There was evidence that actors had direct access to Americans' utility control systems, combined with other high-profile Russian hacking in 2017. This needs to be addressed. U.S. universities, 9 Iranian hackers alleged a spree of more than 300 United States universities across. 144 in the U.S., 176 in universities in other countries. So they stole over 31 terabytes of data, estimated worth $3 billion of intellectual property. This is serious shit. Good article, great article. Pick it up on wired.com. We'll have the link below. Coming in at number 3 of the Cyber Chronicles most shared articles on the interweb. It was a hack by TimeHop. I'd actually, got to be honest with you, I'm not familiar with these folks, but apparently it's a social media platform that uses, I don't know what it does. It uses social media accounts, compromised all 21 users, its entire database. About a fifth of the users, or 4.7 million, also had a phone number that was attached to the breach. It was shut down for about 4 hours after the investigation. Apparently the compromise was occurred because of administration credentials talking about privileged access control. There are products out there that will help this. But apparently Time Hop did not have that. They're not commenting on it right now. The tokens were theoretically used for unauthorized users to use their own social media posting during a short window of time, but they have no evidence of this happening. So they notified everybody on the 5th saying, hey, no big deal, nothing was really compromised, and now we have a better system to validate multi-factor authentication that which makes sure that their admins can only get in, only certain people can get into the entire database. Wow, that's quite the security hole patch. We'll see what happens, but this occurred on a social media platform called Time Hop. To our second biggest article of the week, shared across the internet. This one is interesting. Hackers stole U.S. drone documents, and he stole the drone documents. Get this. He stole the drone documents, sensitive U.S. Air Force documents, and then his price tag, drum roll please, $150. So he's risking, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years in prison, federal prison, for hacking into or taking data, sensitive data from the U.S. government for $150. This is one idiot of a person who's doing this. Anyway, it was found on the dark web. The extent of the breach is yet to be determined. Obviously, they're doing forensics right now, and the name of the person, the residents, the people associated with it, they already believe they're narrowing that down. So it's a matter of time before law enforcement find this person. So that was our second most shared article of the week of July.
This episode of the Cyber Chronicle is brought to you by Focus Point Technologies, a Minnesota-based woman-owned cybersecurity solutions provider founded on the belief that the market is vastly underserved. We are putting the value back in VAR. Please call us at 651-330-5521 or find us on the World Wide Web at www.focuspointtechnologies.com.
And the number one article of the week comes to us from The Hill. Russian hackers use fake accounts disguised as local news. As you know, we try to stay away from politics on this show. We are neutral. We're for the United States. We're for freedom. We're for privacy. But we are in a war. Russian operatives working out of St. Petersburg-based internet research agency used fake accounts disguised as U.S. media outlets to exploit the Americans' trust in local news. An NPR report found accounts linked to this organization. At least 48 media accounts were disguised as local media organizations. This is amazing. Russians are still we're playing a long game developed on social media, fictitious persons and organizations built over a period of time, building trustworthiness. People were following them, and then they were influencing people on social media, or attempting to influence people on social media to affect our election. That was the number one shared article of the week. Please listen to us next week as we discuss the top 5 again. Thank you so much, and we appreciate you subscribing to the Cyber Chronicle.